who would like to call. So I'm going to accept the request and call. Call. I'm ready. All right, here we go. Let me put myself on Do Not Disturb. You're on the line with First Amender.
Do you hear me?
Hello? Hello? Are you there? Oh, crud. I just realized
Hello.
you're on the line with First Amender. You're on the line with
Hello.
First Amender. Can you hear me?
Hi. How are you?
Good.
How is it going?
Good.
I am kind of agreeing with your view on building like houses and giving them to the homeless people. That's a really good idea, and it's very like social welfare based.
Yep.
And I was thinking, wouldn't be first better to solve the democratic issue? That's it, like turning into actual democratic country than basically two parties oligarchic state. You
Well, I'm willing to
first,
hear out your. What I mean, you just said, "Hey, we should have democracy." Great.
yeah,
I
because
don't
you
disagree
like
with that. I just don't know what
you
you're
no, no,
entailing.
no,
I
because I
guess.
think it should be first better to like solve the taxes and welfare. Like for example, I give example of my country. Here we have 21% consumption tax and 15% social and healthcare tax, which basically then allows you to have what you call public or free healthcare.
Yep.
And I think it would be better to first solve this issue with the healthcare than basically start building the houses.
Well, no,
And
I agree with you. Also, just FYI, federally speaking, the United States
mhm,
already spends more per person in healthcare than any of these other European counterparts. I think
yes,
on
yes, yes.
average we spend around $11,000 or $12,000 per person,
Hmm.
whereas in I believe in most European countries it's like 8 or 7,000. And so it's
Yes,
not a money problem. It's a paperwork problem. It's the way
yes,
that
yes,
we
yes.
have created it, and it's like we don't actually have to spend any more money than we're already taking out. We could actually make it more efficient. We just choose not to because we're stupid. We keep catering to insurance companies.
And also that you have a huge military spending. So what? How much big percentage of GDP does the military spending take?
Yeah, that's another concern for sure. I agree with you. I mean, I just think our spending is way off. I don't agree
Hmm.
with the way. I mean, like we can observe our European counterparts and see that they are accomplishing the things that people, especially on the right, like to say that there's no way to fix. They're like, oh, it's too complicated. We can't do it. I'm like, dude, they have
No, I
already
would.
done it across the United States or across European
I mean,
nations.
yes,
Why can't
yes.
we do it here?
Because Republicans, because I correct you said right, but it was more like MAGA and Republican. Because, like, for example, let's say in Europe and other like quote unquote right wing parties, and I'm talking like liberal ones, fixed these issues. And it's mainly because it's just Republicans wanting power, basically stay in power. So they basically say it's impossible to fix, but because they don't want to get rid of their wealth.
I agree with you. And I think
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is the problem. I believe you. I believe that.
And that's amazing that we agree on something finally after the last debate we had.
What was the
And
last debate we had?
I debated you on the homosexuality issue, if you remember.
Okay.
And that's I was like listening earlier when you were talking about them burning flags, the rainbow flag and stuff like that. I think it would be interesting to test their consistency by asking them if it is okay to burn Bible and religious books, because if they say no, then they are hypocrites.
Okay. I think probably if you're talking about burning the Bible, in and of
Hmm.
itself, should not be uh, a hate
Yeah.
speech.
No,
How,
no, no. I was. Go on. Sorry.
however, it could easily breach into that territory. Like, let's say, for
Yeah.
example, you're burning Bibles right outside of a church and, and degrading the people just trying to worship. I would be like, yeah,
Yes.
that's a hate speech. That's hate speech. We
Yes.
can't have that. I hope that
Yes.
makes sense. I'm not religious at all,
Yeah,
by
that
the way.
makes sense. No, I don't. I doesn't matter. It's just we debate now. I was just saying that you could basically give them a gotcha by doing this countermeasure, because I think that some people would say that you should not burn the religious books, but say that you should burn our the flags and make like crosswalks regular and not rainbow. So like give them a gotcha by pointing out if it is okay to burn their stuff and basically stuff like that. If you get what I mean.
I'm not sure where you're going with it, but
No, I was trying to say that it would be interesting to basically call out for their hypocrisy. They talk about First Amendment, the freedom of speech,
I see what
and
you're
then
saying.
they
I see. Like, they would probably say that that's not good, right? And like they
yeah,
even say things like desecrating the American flag. That should be. I agree with you. Yes, I think like
be really.
the way that I
Hmm.
think about it is very different. My bar to entry of like what would be considered hate speech is more sensitive than theirs. But then, yeah, I would agree with you. It would be effectively like contradictory because they would think that, hey, it should be illegal to burn a Bible, for instance.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So you would basically show their
That's
hypocrisy
interesting.
or double standard. Yes, that would be. So you may try it next time. So it would be really funny to basically give them a gotcha, and then they would start to be angry and yelling, and how it is not exactly the same, and you would basically uh, destroy them immediately
Yeah.
with that. About may I also ask how much percent of GDP is the American debt?
Oh,
Because
I
if
think we're
like
at
over
I think it's like almost 150%.
150. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's still like better, because if I remember, Italy in the like 1980s had 180, and they just cut it down to 125.
Hmm.
So it's still too much, but I
Yeah.
think it would be better first to, in order to pay up the debt, you should fix the administration, because otherwise I think you pay a lot of money to the politicians and bureaucrats, which
Hmm.
also makes the debt going this way. And is your country in deficit or not?
Yeah, we're in deficit. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's similar to
We've
here.
been maintaining a deficit for decades.
Mm, so I think it would be like, and it's funny. It would be good to cut the military spending, cut the uh, paying for the politicians, and stuff like that. But I don't know how much it would destabilize the country.
Yeah, I mean, currently it's like a combination of things that would need to happen. We need to tax the
Hmm.
rich more. I think that's super important. I also think that in the United States, we've been catering far too much towards corporations, and we've been
Yes.
adding loopholes in our tax structure
Yes.
specifically so ultra
Yes.
wealthy people can avoid paying taxes. I think we need to
Yes.
take a look at value added taxes and make things more
Hmm.
robust that way. So when people are actually consuming something, that it is
Hmm.
taking out. But I think that those value added taxes should be much greater towards things that are fundamentally
Yes.
only purchased by the wealthy. Things like jets, large boats, large houses, I think that these are things that we should relook at and start getting some tax revenue. We need to lower our spending on the military industrial complex. We need to re-up our spending on infrastructure that actually generates
Yes.
tax revenue, things like buildings, property taxes. De-emphasize our usage on cars and emphasize people-centric infrastructure. So more work done towards what is it? Bike paths and change our zoning laws to where it's where commercial places can be next to residences, and people don't need cars in order to get from point A to point B. I think these are all really, really important things that would just empirically make our lives
yeah.
a lot better, and it would cost a lot less for us to exist, and we could actually lower our overall spending.
Indeed, because correct me if I'm wrong, but your federation is kind of inconsistent in taxes since each state can have its own taxes, right? And if it was like consistent, at least I don't know, 10% income tax and 10% consumption tax for every state and everything, then you would like have better income. And if you also lowered the how do you call it? The salaries of the politicians and bureaucrats, you would then also get more money back and lower the
Oh, and pull
spending. And
money
then
out
you,
of the politics.
yes,
Lobbying. There needs to be a strict like max cap on the amount of money that can be used for political donations. We need to completely get rid of PACs and super PACs and consider it to be effectively bribery.
or you could basically just ban it completely. In
Yes.
Germany, they have something that, depending on your votes popularity, the state gives you some money. So basically, if you're more popular, you get more money for like
Yeah.
campaigns
Yeah.
instead of just bribery like this one, which turns let's say into kind of corporatocracy, right, with corporations behind and influencing politics.
Yeah. I agree.
That's really amazing. And uh, 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 do you know like the jokes about how American houses are basically have like from made from paper, while
Yeah.
in the Europe we have like bricks.
It's
Yeah,
made of brick. Yeah.
would you be uh, what do you think it would be better to build houses from the bricks or keep like uh, I don't know if it's a lot cheaper to build the house from the paper, quote unquote paper, because the provider for those materials will overprice it again.
I believe in the concept of 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 increasing people's equity, and one of the number one ways people are able to escape out of poverty is being able to own a house. And one of the things that happen is that houses are often transferred from one person to the next, from one generation to the next. And this is super beneficial because then people do not have as much of a financial burden in the next life when they have. But the problem is that if houses are only designed to like last you like 50 years, then you can't do that. And so, yeah, I would be very much in favor of
Yes.
emphasizing houses designed to last, 100 years plus.
I mean, do you see the pattern there? Because if they make houses that will last for 50 years, then they will force the person to buy another one. So it's basically a profit based rather than like fee based.
Sorry, my cat. She's biting me again.
Oh, it's all right.
My cat loves to bite me.
That's basically what cats do. It's basically their kisses. This is the way they make kisses. But yeah, so as I was saying, the reason they make any kind of product last a short amount of time for houses at 50 years, you said, is because it will force the people to buy a new one. So it's basically just profit based, so they will get more money rather than making high quality stuff that will last for 100 years.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Terrible.
And would you be in favor if, let's say, hypothetically speaking, the USA fixes itself? Would it be interesting for the USA to join the European Union?
Repeat that?
Would it be interesting for the USA to join the European Union
Oh,
after it would
holy
fix
crap.
itself?
Woo. That, I don't know how they would pull that off. I'll be honest with you. That's
Yeah,
a
because this
pie
would
in
be
the sky kind of a thing. I don't think you even need to have joining the European Union, but I do think
oh,
that
no,
like
no.
establishing strong trade agreements that benefit both nations.
Yes. Yeah, because like it reminded me of how Trump wanted to make Canada the 51st state, and then Canada like made an idea of Canada joining the European Union, which was a bit amusing and memes around the internet,
It's funny.
of course. Yes, indeed. And let's say about gun laws, I think we agree on that there should be some kind of sensible regulation on gun laws, right? Instead of non-restrictive stuff where you just only sign a paper and can have a gun, right?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Gun law.
What about them?
We should we should have some because the USA has like a Second Amendment that where you basically can get a gun if you're 18 and no checks, anything. While,
Yeah,
for
yeah. We should have
example,
we should have specifically red flag laws.
yeah, and how would it look like? Because, for example, here it is just a tons of bureaucratic papers and paying a lot of people, while I would like prefer just having psychological tests, like yearly. You would have to yearly go to a psychological test and have an state focus on your if you are mentally stable to own a gun
Yes.
rather than have this bureaucratic mess like in most European countries. Or in Switzerland, I may be wrong, they have free gun law, free guns. You can get gun freely, but without ammunition. So you basically imagine having, I don't know, AR-15, but you wouldn't have ammunition at home, and you would only be able to shoot at shooting range, but you couldn't have ammunition at all. That's also kind of a bit more progressive way, a transitional way between the completely free guns and the gun restrictions.
I don't agree. Like we have so many guns here in the U.S., so I
Yes.
would not want
Yes.
free guns. That would not be
No.
good. But I do think we need to have red flag laws. I think like
Yeah.
the red flags we don't have now is I think it's killing people,
Mm,
and we need to rethink
now.
how we
Mhm.
address it.
Now let's tackle something. Do you know the Blue Dog Coalition
Blue
in
Dog
Democrats?
Coalition. I don't know what that is.
Yes. Oh, okay. It's basically interesting. It's basically a conservative version of Democrats, and they are quite a minority part. And it's kind of interesting. They are not heard of at all, and they kind of oppose each other. But never mind that. I dropped that. Let's talk about the free speech law. In the USA, you have the First Amendment, right, where
Mhm.
you can talk about everything, right?
Yep.
Wouldn't it be better to divide it more? Because, for example, waving flags is not speech, it's not verbal. Having opinion is verbal. So if you like, let's say, ban Nazi flags, Confederate flags, but you would have still First Amendment, which basically allows you to have free speech, but waving flags is not speech. What do you think?
Well, I do believe that waving flags is speech. I just think that there's like a level of dehumanization that makes it an intensely hostile place to be, and
Yes,
if it breaches that boundary, then it is no longer protected speech. Currently, as of right now, that is protected speech. I think we need to
yes,
reconsider that because we already have laws, going against like, you know, crying a fire in a movie theater, right? It
yes,
causes the
yes.
immediate
It,
harm of people, but I think it should go one step further in that, like,
yes.
if it, not just that it immediately causes harm in people, but that it makes it a hostile place to like live your life.
Is it possible for you on the stream to search for Article 17 of the Czech Republic Constitution? If I'm correct, let me check again, because it would be interesting to see the difference of freedom of speech law.
All right, well, let's see here.
Articles.
How do I spell Czech Republic?
The C Z
Oh
E
yes,
C H.
never gonna get that.
No, I'm sorry. It should wait.
Article 17.
Let me.
The freedom of expression and the right of
Speech.
information are guaranteed. Everyone has a right to express their opinion in speech, in writing, in the press, in pictures, or any other form, as well as freely seek, receive, and disseminate ideas and information, irrespective of the frontiers of state. Censorship is not permitted. The freedom of expression and the right to seek, disseminate information may be limited by law in the case of measures necessary in a democratic society for protecting the rights and freedom from others, the security of the state, public security, public health, and morals. State bodies and territorial self-governing bodies are obliged in an appropriate manner to provide information on their activities, conditions, and therefore implementation thereof provided by law. So yes, I think like the difference is this number 4, where it's like, hey, there's certain instances
Yes.
where it harms other people, and so you are restricted from that.
Yes. For example, here it is banned to be a Nazi. You can have hold your own opinion, but you cannot have marches and
Yeah.
things and being in public.
Yeah,
And now
and right here in
recently,
the
for
US,
example,
you are free to be a Nazi. And I don't see
yes,
that, like, the idea is like, oh, you just have to like win against their ideas, and
hmm
then it'll, then the truth will reveal itself. But if anything, all that's happened is people have just gotten more extreme. That's just all that's happened. Like, we haven't observed that, like, oh, it's gotten better. No, if anything, misinformation has gotten worse, and the results of these things have only gotten worse. Like, we have not observed like this
yes,
magical, a pie in the sky idea that is just like, oh, it's just going to get better from here on out. It hasn't.
no,
It's worse in virtually every way in comparison to most European countries. This is another instance. It's like, dude, we have to like look at this and realize, okay, I think we're wrong on this. Sorry,
well, yes, but
I have more laundry. Just give me a quick second.
I wait,
Okay?
I wait, I wait.
It will not take long. Okay, some stuff. Hold on. Let me just put on the AFK thing. Just give me a moment. I'm back.
Verb. I kind of forgot where we stand. It was yes, the speech law. Uh, how you have you also set up the screen?
How did what?
The screen you have still the FK screen.
Oh, no. It's up.
Super.
It's up. There's a roughly 12-second delay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see now. Well, when you cited our constitution, it is interesting in that it's only like banning, it's only against like Nazism and communism. Otherwise, it's kind of protect any speech that was not proven harmful. So basically, you can have marches against abortions, you can have marches, pride marches, you can have Christian marches, you can have basically any kind of march that was not proven harmful and was approved by the court. But if it is proven that it is harmful, like objectively harmful, like Nazism and socialism, you can't have like marches approved, and you can't legally go on a march with where you would
Yeah.
basically advocate for Nazism and communism. What do you think about that? This is basically how it works here.
My
It's
only
like
yeah my only pushback is like if a communist is like arguing, hey, we need to kill the rich, then that would be something that would not be protected. But being a communist would be fine. But being a Nazi, no. The very existence of Nazism
yes, I get your
requires
idea.
killing a lot of people.
But the reason communism or socialism in this sense was banned here is because 1948 they did a coup d'etat, which
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
seized the government.
Then okay, fair enough. Then it's a different
Then
context, I
96,
suppose. Then
yeah, 1968 they invaded my country because we tried to have democracy. You can search on Wikipedia for Prague Spring or basically socialism with human face, and it was when basically new communist leader tried to make socialism, the totalitarian one, democratic. USSR and Warsaw Pact didn't like it, and they invaded us in 1968. And basically, we had like their army until like 1989, till the Velvet Revolution. So basically, by that they see it from the great purges from Stalin up to this point. We see it as very harmful, regardless if people say that it, quote, it was not real communism, end quote. We basically banned it. So like you cannot have propaganda, you cannot like do marches and stuff like this. So it's basically banned here. But the basic sense, if it such thing is proven as harmful, it is banned by the state. Otherwise, you can, if approved by the court, you can basically have that speech anyway. So it's kind of sometimes a bit more free than in some Western countries like Germany. But that's debatable. What do you think after NFL you read the Wikipedia chart?
yeah. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have a whole lot to add, I guess.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine. So if you had like, let's say the state would have, your state would adopt our constitution of freedom of speech, where it would divide speech and press, and would define what is actually harmful, like terrorism, Nazism, socialism in the Stalinist sense, and basically you would ban advocating for it, but otherwise in vague and undecided stuff like World War One and stuff, it would not ban the speech. Only when only it would ban speech only at proven harmful stuff.
Yeah.
So we agree on this.
Yes.
That's amazing. So just basically to still protect the speech of the individual, but except at proven harmful stuff. But then it is debatable what is actually harmful outside of Nazism and communism.
Yeah.
So glad we agreed on this stuff. Now I wanted to ask, do you? I don't know if I asked you last time, but what kind of document does the United States follow when it comes to human rights? Does it have its own document of human rights, or does it follow the United Nations one? If you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
there's no like single document, but I mean, it's like kind of
Yes.
peppered throughout. There's, the law in general.
Yeah. Would you like for the United Nations uh, list of Declaration of Human Rights to be implemented into the United States laws?
I think they already are, or at least they're supposed to be.
That's the thing they are supposed to be, but they are like it's basically all around the place, like First Amendment, Second Amendment, 19th Amendment. And if we talk about democracy, the United States is basically authoritarian democracy and not democratic at all, which would violate the United Nations right of for democracy, right? So it's basically like that. Then you have the rule of law, equality before the law, which can be also debatable at the United States, if I'm not wrong. And hmm?
Okay, so
So you like you said it's supposed to be there, but I just gave debatably examples that it is not there at all.
yeah, I
It's
mean, like, yeah, regarding like voting, we have a long history of attempting to suppress votes.
yes,
And I obviously have a huge issue with that. The fact of like
yes.
Texas redistricting is a huge problem. I don't know if you
Mhm.
followed that. That's been a thing in the news lately.
I think I can say that I see it as the core because like it's United States, so of course there will be some suppression from this side, some suppression from this side because they want to stay in power. So I kind of like already accept it as a fact and that it is flawed
Yeah.
democracy in some sense.
I mean, I think we
And
could go like I think the original like why we wanted to like do it in a districting way was like an argument in like that we can decide a decisive winner, but it's like we have like some pretty advanced computers that could just count people, right? Like, I mean,
yes, but
why does it have to be like this weird like districting thing and it's separated across districts and then we like arbitrarily change the districts around in order to like I don't know get more Republicans to it's inherently as far as I'm concerned like an undemocratic position.
yes, I would argue for basically actual paper ballots like we have here. You may not like paper ballots, but unlike at computers, you cannot hack into a paper. You know, paper is just a document and you basically count anonymous votes.
Hmm.
If I don't count the district mess that you described, because it's of course a mess. And I think it was mainly like that because you had slavery and they did not want to count slaves into it, so it was kind of like made this way. So you have some kind of democracy with authority, so you don't like fall apart.
Hmm.
What kind of democracy would you like to see? Because you have like in Europe, Switzerland one, then you have like my country democracy, then you have German, which is a federal republic, and you have also
I'm
France. So
okay with there being a representative democracy, but at the same time,
better.
I'm concerned about like the Christian nationalists frequently having more and more power in the government.
Yeah, I got your
It's just
idea. What
extremely
you mean by
worrying.
that? Which I wanted to tackle Christianity a bit more by asking you an analogical thing. Uh, let's say I am call myself an ally or woke, right? And I say that I oppose, I don't know, abortion. Am I woke or not?
If you
If I
oppose
say that,
abortion,
if I oppose abortion and I say
yeah,
I am
that's not that.
woke or
Yeah, that's not woke.
yes,
It's the opposite
exactly.
of woke.
And let's say if you read the Bible and you have like Christian, quote unquote, that call himself Christian and opposes human rights, wants people to be
I read the
enslaved,
Bible. It made me
want
become an atheist.
yes, they want those Christian nationalists. They want like I don't know what they have there. They want slavery. They want to kill people. They are very violent. Is it Christian or not? Because like if you define Christianity by ecumenical councils and basically wanting to forgive people and help them in their needs. That basically, by that analogy, they are not Christians. They are basically heretics and hypocrites.
Yeah,
But they call
yes, but
themselves.
I mean they don't care. Like they still call themselves Christians, and it's like
Yeah,
and
but
I
they're not. That's
personally
like
don't care either because it's like they're just using a religion
yes,
to push like some hate ideology,
yes,
and
exactly.
it doesn't
Yes,
matter Christian not Christian. It's you're making people's lives worse. We need to stop you.
yes. Basically, Nazis did the same thing. If you go on the internet and type in quote unquote positive Christianity, you see the exact same thing those quote unquote Christians do in the United States. And it's basically uh, those kind of people using the religion for their own gains.
Yeah.
So it's basically funny that those Nazis wanted to make the religion theirs, and that if you so just align people together, they basically use this to justify their bad morals, which
Yes.
is not Christian at all, since I myself am becoming one from atheism, and from what I learned and stuff, those people you describe that call themselves Christians are not Christian at all, because
It doesn't
they
matter. That whether or not that they are Christian is independent as to whether or not they're making life worse for people. Like I don't really care. There's all sorts of like
okay,
there's all
never mind,
sorts of
never mind.
I mean all it is just like what is it? It's a no true Scotsman fallacy. Like oh well these aren't actual Christians because they're doing things that are anti-Christian. Well, great, but there's all sorts of Christians that agree or disagree on all sorts of things, and they all think that they're the real one, whereas like all the others are the bad one,
I mean,
and
that's
it's like
everywhere. Like that's everywhere in every group,
yeah,
even
so
atheist
like it
separatists.
doesn't so that doesn't matter to me like that.
Okay, okay, never mind that. I wanted to know your view on it. Otherwise, I don't have kind any more questions, and I really enjoy this. If you have any question towards me who is not aligned with your views or anything like that.
No, I don't have any questions for you.
Well, I really enjoyed this debate. It was quite calm and very nice, and glad we agreed on many stuff despite being socially polarized. And I really enjoyed talking to you. I hope
Yeah,
you will have a blessed day. I don't think it is noon in your country. Here it is evening.
sounds good. You have a great day.
So, you too. See ya.
All right.